stuff everywhere, but I cleared out a spot to build the new head. The walls are closing in around me. Old head. It's in this box. There should also be new head studs and a gasket set in there. I don't remember if I ordered anything else, so I think I have the rest of the things I need. Oh, and nuts for the exhaust. It's supposed to come with studs for the exhaust, but then I ordered new nuts as well. So let's get this thing up here. I always get a little nervous when heavy stuff gets shipped with gaskets, but it looks like the gaskets are in their own cardboard, maybe. Yeah, so that's just stuff. Fill the gap. Everything's nice and flat. Yay, Euro Parts SD. There's a gasket kit. Comes with even more washers for injectors, which is great. Intake gasket, exhaust gasket, O-rings for all the little accessories and stuff. Mine are in good shape. They don't have very many miles, about 400 miles on them, so I probably won't need to use these. I'll just keep them as spares. And then there's the AMC. These are the ones made in Spain. And oh, she's a big girl. All right, I'll just pull that out there on the workbench. Well, there are no exhaust nuts in the box. Hopefully they put them in here with the head. Bye-bye. Yep, there they are. So here's my head studs. I completely forgot about them. I'm looking for the exhaust nuts. So new head studs. Yay. What a good boy. Oh. And then nuts. And then here's the studs that it comes with. Yeah, it's got nice foam packaging around it. I like to see that. And you can see through the plastic, it comes with all the valves and everything installed. We'll get this thing on its side, see that it's the same size as those valves, because I opted to go with my OM 640, whatever the number is, for the 04, 05, 06 T1Ns, because it has the smaller diameter exhaust valves. That way, if something horrible happens and I have to go back to my short block, I mean, at this point, anything's possible. I'll have a head that's compatible, because I already know that head works with the old block, so it can go both ways. I don't know why they even bother selling the larger valve heads. Maybe they make more power. I don't know. Ooh, does look really nice. Really like it. I want to grab some of my new head stud or hold down bolts and run them down these holes just to make sure there's nothing left in there from manufacturing that they missed. But looks like they did a really nice job with this thing. Yeah, it's flat enough, flatter than mine, right? At least it doesn't have big holes from some ape grinding away at it. So I'll go ahead and wipe this surface down with brake clean before I install it. But until then, I'm just going to leave any greases on there as I put it together. But yeah, looks good to me. It's the same little channel on one side. They appear the same size at first glance. That other head is down in a box somewhere. And oh, I painted my exhaust manifold. So I used the VHT high heat stuff. So this, the flame proof. And I'm fortunate enough to have an oven at work that I could bake it in to do it per those instructions. But there's another guy at work that uses this on some of his crappier projects. And he just sprays it on and sets it out in the sun. He says it lasts years. So he's had good luck with it. As any other paint, all the work is in the prep, you know. So, alright, yeah, I like the gold tonight, because I don't want to really huck it in there this late, is to just have it ready to go on the bench, so when I get home from work on a Sunday, I can try to get it back together and drive it on Monday. For the exhaust studs, I mean, they're never coming out anyway. They always gall together, but I've had good luck short term for like, oh, something happened, I gotta take it apart using nickel anti-seize, and then I have a stud installer. These should all go in by hand. Yeah, nice. So I only do these finger tight because it just, you don't need to grind them in there and damage anything. But on older heads where maybe you can't put them in just your fingers, these work well. They've got little rollers inside that grip it so you don't crush the threads and make the nuts hard to put on, but it won't be necessary in this case. So let's bang out. Got 11 of these to do. Tiny touch of the good stuff. And then we'll do gasket and the manifold itself to proper torque. And flip it over and do all the intake stuff and call it a night. Studs are in place. Nuts go to 22 foot-pounds, 30 Newton meters. And I'm going to use copper spray, but only on the manifold side, because that's old and crusty and has little pockets in it. I didn't do that when I assembled this stuff because I never removed the exhaust manifolds from the heads. I left them on there for both, well, it was only this head that I used. Either way, left the thing on so it didn't leak. Then again, it also had 2 gaskets on it, so who knows. This stuff, super easy to use. Make sure you get overspray all over your floor, but you just like get a little coat. Doesn't need to be super thick. It's just going to take up any little tiny imperfection. And then you do a gasket, wait 30 seconds, and then spank them together. Again, probably completely unnecessary, but it's not. This doesn't hurt anything to have that copper on there. Looks good. So it doesn't specify which ones to do first, but I'm going to go from the center out, just in case this thing's flexy at all. That kind of guarantees that it lays into place and doesn't do anything weird. Had to pull something back off already. I almost forgot I wanted to put a little bit of nickel anti-seize on these too. So just hopefully make things better in the future. Plus, if you do all this stuff, you'll never have to take it back off because it'll just work, right? It's like burning an umbrella when it's going to rain, and then you're just that guy there with an umbrella and it never rains. Yeah, that's how it always goes. Next, glow plugs. So 12 newtons, 115 inch-pounds, and I'm using the ceramic grease that you're supposed to with these guys. And I just pick a paintbrush out of my drawer. I had one I kept reusing. I think I dropped it on the floor somewhere. But I did notice when I took these out that they really weren't that greasy anymore. Even at a low amount of mileage, I think that there's enough clearance in the hole that it just kind of gets sloppy and drips down into the cylinder, and there really isn't much left. So I don't know how useful this really is, except for on this little seat right here where it actually seals. And that one in number 5 didn't seal, it wasn't all the way in. So I don't know until you use it. So I use it. It doesn't really matter which hole this goes in. Somebody can make a good joke out of that one. I imagine these just go in nice, sit flat, and then torque them. We will see. This seems excessive. 115. Nope, right there. Alright, I'll get all 5 in and we'll see how far they all poke out. Yep, glow plugs in. They appear to all be sticking out the same amount, which is exciting. Better than the last time I put them in. Lifting hooks, fuel rail mounts. That's where they go. Torque is medium. Here's my old intake gasket. I probably could have reused it, to be honest, because, but got a new one, so why not? But there's only 2 holes that have a little tab that holds the bolt in for you. Found that out the hard way. Well, remembered the hard way by dropping all my bolts on the floor. But yeah, you can slap those in there. They'll kind of help you line stuff up and hang it. And then, that must be coolant. No. Anywho, get that guy on there, figure out what the hell the torque spec is. Alright, I was able to find all the bolts, and then this one just tells you the same thing that I like to do on the exhaust as to go center out. Oh, you should put those 4 in, you dingus. Didn't put these long guys in there yet. Oh. Yeah, so go for the middle and just... It tells you to do the rear ones last. Like it has you put the intake on and then this exhaust part for the EGR. I don't think it matters that much, but I'll do these first and that one last like the manual says, so that I won't have anything to look back at and worry about. And then that bolt and that bolt for this fuel line that has to get fed through. But I'm not going to do that until it's on the vehicle, I think. That way it's not hanging down, catching on stuff. Just in case I forgot, 16 newtons, 142 foot-pounds. And then I always like this little guy. It's like they put a hole through a hole so you get to the bolt. It's like, damn, like I'm a big Volkswagen nerd, right? Volkswagen wouldn't do that. They just tell you to fuck yourself. You'd have to try to get a wrench in there some other way. So that little casting hole really cracks me up. Okay, I put the thermostat on. I think that's everything it had when I took it out. There's nothing else really to put on until you bolt down the head studs, then you can put the cam tray in, pull the timing chain off, all that kind of stuff. I ran a nice clean bolt down and got 18.5 turns on all of them, except this one and this one were 19 turns. So hopefully that helps somebody out, and I'll do the same thing I did last time on installation. I'll count how many till it seats and then torque them down. It was something like 16-ish. So we got a little bit of space, not a ton of space, but a little bit of space. I think on some of mine, I was able to get 20 turns out of them on the factory head once the holes were cleaned out, and I wasn't digging in there and like drilling them or anything like that. Not when I cleaned them the first time around, at least. It's only 10:20 at night. It's super tempting, but I just know better. Like, I'm not going to fumble around in the dark trying to do an install. When I'm pulling something out that's broken, sure. But I got time. I still got to go to work Sunday, but not for very long. So should be able to wrap this up tomorrow and do a test drive, and then I'll drive it to work, and I'll just start driving it all the time. So ready to go. Tomorrow's plan, install it, and just have my van back.